take points. Right. Participation.
Are you doing the IBTA airport? That's the San Jose.
I think it's thinking it'll be on Sunday, but
We'll be working that day, but I'm going to try to drop in. My boy is also doing
Jiu-Jitsu World Day, right?
world league, yeah.
I might try to do that one, but we'll see. I'm asking a lot for that. It takes up the whole weekend, really. So.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna get started. Let's do some warm up. We're gonna start with some stand up. Alright, so you're gonna grab a partner and you're gonna do one-to-one drills. And I want you guys to start thinking about like chaining your grip fighting. So depending on your skill level with wrestling, like the more advanced you are, the more phrases I want you guys to think about. So like, let's say like I'm looking for an underhook. I want to think about like what comes before that underhook, and then also what comes after. So it's just like, if I'm looking for an underhook, Johnny's not just gonna let me like just shoot it willy-nilly. He's gonna be looking and blocking. So I'm thinking about like, what am I doing before that? Maybe it's like I do a bunch of collar ties and make him sort of condition him to start like looking for my arm and looking to strip that arm. And then maybe like the third time that I do it, I go for my underhook. So it's sort of thinking about reactions before the grip that you want, and then also thinking about reactions after. So let's say like I condition Johnny with my collar tie, and then finally I get my underhook, and then maybe he pummels out, and now I'm sort of thinking about the single leg right after that. So if you've been doing jiu-jitsu a while, like I want you guys to sort of practice maybe like 3 to 4 phrases. So maybe it's like I'm conditioning Johnny with this collar tie, and then I'm going for the underhook and he blocks me, and then maybe I go for some sort of drag and I'm now in the rear block. So figure out what kind of phrasing you like for your grip fight, and then just drill it out with your partner. So, and then Johnny now will do whatever his favorite grip sequence is, and then I'll do it, and then we'll just warm up like this. Any questions? Good. All right, on two, on two. Yeah, we'll just play some games.
I like your outfit. It's just hand fighting. It's just hand fighting.
I'm fighting. I'm like crazy. Okay, okay.
Doing grip fights, getting your grip. So whether that's like wrist control, whether that's underhooks, collar ties, outside bicep ties, whatever. Like you get your grips, you use it to move your opponent. Now we're gonna play a game where we're looking to get a single leg. So both Johnny and I are going to be looking for singles. Once I pick up the single, that's a win condition for me. You reset, and we go again. So maybe Johnny goes for a single leg too. If he gets a single leg, it's a win condition for him. We reset. Obviously, like we're not just letting our partner get it. So like maybe he goes for a single, down block. We continue one continuous game where we're both looking for single legs. Any questions?
Just to clarify, it's not one-on-one then.
It's not one-on-one. So look to defend, look to get your own grips, look to pick up a single. We're not going like 100% either. We're sort of going 50, 60% looking to transition to our grips, halfway flow. Yeah. We'll do 2 rounds of 2 minutes with 2 different partners. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2. we were working on turtle last week. First off, like why this position? So this position is more of like a transitory position, and it's better than. It depends on what your game is, but I would say that it's better than sort of being on your back. Simply because when Johnny comes up to his elbows and knees, he has more ability to generate and also absorb force on the mat. And this way he can also use the power of his legs to start standing up and causing a problem. Now you're out of weight. So turtle, like you don't want to hang out here too long, especially if somebody is really good at keeping you down. But it's a great position in between to sort of get to better upper positions. So we're going to play a game where I'm person on top, Johnny's person on bottom. My goal on top is going to be twofold. One is I need to put enough pressure into Johnny to make sure that he doesn't just walk away. So at any point, if I'm looking to accomplish my goal and Johnny is able to just stand up and walk away, I failed at keeping Johnny in control position, and that's a failure for me. My other goal is to knock Johnny's hip to the mat. So if at any point I'm able to have Johnny's hip touch the mat, it doesn't even have to be a pin, I win this game. At the same time, if Johnny walks away, he wins this game. So I have to figure out a way to keep pressure on top of Johnny, and then another constraint for me is I cannot connect my hands. I can't go seatbelt, I can't go rear body lock. I'm going to have to figure out a way to grab shoulders, to grab wrists, and to grab hips, to put my hand inside his hip. I can grab his feet, I can grab his shins. I can do all of these things to sort of manipulate his weight and try to get his hips to the mat. So the reason why I'm adding this constraint is because in a live sparring situation, sometimes you're not going to get a rear body lock or a seatbelt. Like we're going to be scrambling and then we end up in turtle and your hands are disconnected. You're going to have to figure out a way to control your opponent and to bring him down to a hip. So the win conditions for me is bring Johnny's hip to the mat. Win condition for Johnny is to stand up and disconnect. Anytime someone accomplishes their goal, we'll switch top to bottom, bottom to top. No. So no pulling guard for the bottom person. So you must try to stay up. And that means adjusting your base. And for the top person, I want you guys to think about this dilemma of, like if Johnny's super tight and I can't get inside, then I start looking to use other grips to bring him over. And obviously he's gonna adjust and he's gonna open his legs, and now I can go inside and start using other forms of grip on the inside. So inside control, outside control, whatever you guys try to play between those two in order to accomplish your goal.
No trying to quicksand or anything like that on top? Like you tripods and like there's space to do it and you kind of place me on.
I guess, yeah, you can throw a hook. Yeah. So feel free to use your feet as well. Yeah. Any questions? All right, we'll play this game a couple times. On 3, 1, 2.
How is it possible? Okay. This is your burger. Really? Was it the new guy? Oh, he's the new guy. Oh, you've got great company. You did.
No one wants to go with me.
Oh my god, dude, I would eat terrible. Huh?
I thought you were some kid from like
A kid?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was like Dave.
That's kind of funny. I do dress like his daughter.
Huh?
I do dress like his daughter. The hoodies.
Yeah. Just like
Your hair's getting long. Maybe you could try to keep him on the mat. Here. Yeah, try to keep him on the mat. It's a game. We're playing games. Oh, wait, dude. You're gonna try your absolute best.
I think that there's also a good thing to be said about like if I can't connect my hands, it's also good to know how to distribute my weight over somebody, so it just like keeps the pressure on them. It makes it uncomfortable for them to stand up and do anything. So we're gonna progress. So this next game, I'm gonna allow connecting hands, but then the win conditions are going to be slightly different. So for the person on top, I can start however I want. I can start hip and tricep, I can start hip and shoulder, I can start rear body lock, I can start, actually no. We'll start with hands disconnected. If you want to connect your hands, we're gonna have to earn it. So if you want a seatbelt, you can go for it right away. Johnny can't fight that if you want. So if you want to connect your hands, we'll have to earn it. Win condition for me now on top is I have to have connected hands and also one hook in. So if I can connect my hands, the chest to back, and have one of my hooks in this hip pocket, that's a win condition for me. I can also knock him down to a hip, but I have to be past his guard. So I have to be inside or I have to be out. If any part of at least one of Johnny's legs is in front of me, this is open guard, closed guard, half guard, butterfly half. That's a loss for me. It's either gain guard while I was trying to gain it. So again, wing conditions on top. Now I can connect my hands. Everything is open for me. I can also, let's say we can also sub as well, the rear naked choke. So this is to help condition you guys not to just have your hand on the mat. So Johnny just has his hand on the mat, like this. I'm not going to go for anything, I'm just going to go straight for a rear naked choke. So Johnny wants to go on his elbows, so if I try to do that, he's going to fight. So I will allow sub, I will allow hook in with seatbelt, this is wing condition, or knock the hip down and pin. Johnny's way to win is to be guard while I'm trying to pin him, or stand up and disconnect and walk away. Any questions? Clear? Yeah? Clear. Alright, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Dude, this is like your stuff.
You do all that?
and the defensive side, you guys can get just some like slower time with it, and then we'll continue playing it. So with offense, whenever I'm thinking about breaking somebody down here on top here in turtle, again, like I'm thinking about that trilemma always, which is toppling him over like a building, and then sort of just like grabbing him and generating some sort of movement. They're almost always going to adjust. No one's ever just going to fall down like that. See, Johnny just adjusted. And when they adjust, that's when opportunities open up for me to get inside control on his hips, his armpits, right here. And then the last trilemma is basically like looking for chokes, looking for submission opportunities. So I'm always thinking about like going between those, because if you just do one all the time, it's just not going to work. So you're going to have to move between two to three things in order to get your heart rate. The first easy way to take them down is we're just like, again, we're reinforcing this concept that like Johnny has good base. He can absorb force, he can take force. Every time I move him, he's going to adjust his elbows because he's trying to absorb that force and keep himself up, right? So the first one that we're going to do is very simple. We're just going to basically like kick our knee and use the force of gravity to separate his elbow and knee right here. From here, I can CK my seatbelt, and then I have my foot in the back here ready to push off. What are we doing here? We're essentially going to go over this near side shoulder, and we're essentially disallowing him to adjust that shoulder to face out. So when I roll over that shoulder, he has no choice but to fall. And so I'm using my body weight to drag him to the mat, and then now I basically have an opportunity to take the back. Very simple. You can ask your partner to like be as tight as they can with the elbow and the knee. It's just like gravity is always going to have me win this little battle right here. For the more advanced folks, you can even play around with just holding the tricep, because that could accomplish the same thing. Basically, disallowing him to readjust his arm, and therefore he cannot absorb the force going this way, and I just roll him over straight into that. Alternatively, you guys can think about other ways to do this as well. So it doesn't have to be like this whole thing where I like go seatbelt and whatever. Like I said, like if you don't have your hands connected, you can sort of think of other ways. Like if I block Johnny's entire left side over here, like I reach across, block Johnny's left side. Now he can't face on his left side, right? So as I drive him over, he's unable to absorb that force, and now I've driven him over. Similarly, like you guys can play around with lifting your limbs up. So like if I can grab his foot, I can lift his foot off the mat. Therefore, he can't generate force in that direction. So now I can think about ways where I can use that to my advantage and start bringing his hips to the mat. So feel free to play around in this position. I think you guys got like a good look at it when you guys were playing the game. There's another one that I like to do, which is essentially the Joseph Chen shoulder roll. So like, we have our classic back kick right here where we have overhook, underhook. We roll over the over the shoulder. What Joseph Chen does is that he brings his shoulder over Johnny's head, and then I'm looking to get my head almost on the other side of Johnny's arm here. And he kind of like rolls over it like this. And then from here, he can basically either roll backwards to the back kick, or just bring his partner through to the back. Either way, like, the concept remains the same. What we're doing here is I'm bringing my shoulder over Johnny's head, and then as I'm rolling, I'm basically not allowing Johnny to readjust his base, his upper body. And I'm forcing a roll by crunching his here, and right here. And your shoulders should be crunching their head down, and that's also for a safety reason. You don't want your partner to basically have their forehead leaning into the mat and break their head. And then from here, I can just hold your knee straight into the back from here. So we'll drill some of these back takes. Feel free to do what you want. Whether it's this Joseph Chen roll or the standard back take, or the ones where you're experimenting with holding their base so they can't readjust while you use your own body weight to draw them over. We'll drill for around 5 minutes and then we'll move into defense. Questions? I can come around and help. Just call me over. Alright, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Actually, my cousin.
It's like what?
No, not anymore. I don't have the need to be dancing.
Alright, let's talk about defense. So, let's first talk about the difference between seatbelt and a rear body lock. So, if I'm in turtle and someone has a seatbelt on me, if I, like, the difference with the seatbelt is that it kind of like has this hook on my shoulder. So if I try to just like stand up, Johnny is able to sort of follow my height. Now he's going to start throwing hooks in, and that's not a good idea. It's just not good. Whereas like if you have a rear body lock, there's really nothing that's stopping me from gaining height without an issue. So we'll want to think about that, especially if we're looking at escaping rear body locks and seatbelt. So go back to the seatbelt. With the seatbelt, I always think about like it's kind of like this hole. Like Johnny basically has a loop around me. If I turn to my left, it just kind of gets tight. So I beat the seatbelt by rotating, and I rotate to my right. So I move this way, kind of like facing Johnny. And this inside arm, I want to swim out here. And this sets it up really nicely to either suck my head out, or, sorry for that, or if I can grab any part of his leg here, I can start my own offense and wrestle him. So, I always find that it's a good idea, so I'm turning into this overhook here, and then looking to establish better grips. I could even just like slip my head out and start coming out this way. So that's one. So let's say Johnny has a rear body lock. Never underestimate the power of like being able to grab somebody's hands. So if at any point I could separate his hands, I grab him like kind of like mid-palm and I squeeze. Because if I grab at the wrist, Johnny can swing. And now he got his grip back again, right? If I can break and grab at the palm, if he tries to get it back, it's much harder. And then now I can basically stand up and walk away. So, if you can hand fight, then hand fight. Grab hands, turn to fist. If he has a very tight grip on you, this is when I start to think about turning into him again. So again, I can take an angle, and so usually I'll have outside foot up, inside foot down. And now, like, I have access to this scoop grip. I also have access to this outside reap. And I find that this outside reap is quite strong. Like once I hold onto this, Johnny can't follow me anymore. Because if he tries to come into me and take my back, it just hurts his leg. So now I can start to move away, bring his leg up, and now I can reverse the situation. So I think a lot of really good escapes start with like I'm sort of feeling out which side my opponent is at, and I'm turning into him here. I have these reaps, I have these scoops, and then I also have brandies. So on my inside shoulder, I can choose to roll away, so I'm going from right shoulder to left shoulder. And I'm basically like using my hips as a frame. Like I'm bringing my hips and putting it into Johnny's face. So I'm here, right shoulder to left, and now I've created like a straight line where I can generate this. Johnny can choose to not let go and roll with me. It just generally is not. I find that their alignment is generally off. They decide to try and roll. You can always like go again until they break their grips and you can turn to face. But you can think of it as like a framing mechanism where I'm using my hips as a frame in order to generate distance with my partner. So we'll do a couple of these drills. I think turning into your opponent is just very useful in general. So whether it's a seatbelt, I'm turning in. Now I have more of my limbs that I can use to fight my opponent. I can also think about grip fighting. And even in a rear body lock, I can also turn into my opponent. Think about some scoop grips. Think about some reaping leg grips, or look to grab you out of the situation. Feel free to drill other escapes if you know them. Those are just some ideas. Any questions? Need to see anything else? I'm doing it.
I'll take cool pics of you. Look, look, David. When they stop rolling.
if you don't roll them all the way, try to get
So we have about 6 minutes left, so we'll play one more game. So now that you guys kind of have a better idea of your goals, and you have some time to drill some sequences, we'll play this game again. We'll start here in turtle. This time, I'm going to have to basically first score. So I need to complete a back take, so I need to get connected hands with both my feet as hooks, or I could pin him inside the shoulder mount. And then for Johnny, it's the same thing. Disconnect, regard, or if he sweeps me and I end up on bottom, that's also open for him. So the only additional thing that I have to do is get the secondary. Any questions? All right, on to number 2. start in that connected hands with one hook in, and then you want to like be able to defend the very last hook, and also extract yourself completely from that situation. I think I also wanted to get to like a little bit of dynamic sort of games where it's like you take the person down from standing, and then they have the opportunity to turtle before they get scored on, and then the minute they turtle, it's like then the game starts. I think it adds a little bit of a scramble to the game, and I think that's also useful for understanding how to control that position. So, great art, savings is it. That's it from us. Thanks for coming.
Oh, sure, yeah. So this might take a while for you to grab. Oh no, it's okay. I didn't. Okay.
I can do the tripod too.
Yes.
I look terrible.